LeBron James has decided to take his talents elsewhere once again. This man wants to be the number one player of all time, yet he hops around from team to team looking for a championship ring. And now the Lakers say bye bye, and he go cry. And here we go again. LeBron James wants to go somewhere else. After 8 years with the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James has announced that he will not be a member of the Los Angeles Lakers next season. Big shock. They just dropped 185 million on Austin Reeves. They got Luca in the building, and LeBronica wants to take his talents elsewhere once again. So where will LeBron go? Where will he go? If you ask me, to me, the place that always made sense for LeBron James to finish his career at is Cleveland. It's always been Cleveland. I don't think he should have ever left Cleveland the second time he left Cleveland when he made his decision to leave Cleveland and move on to the Los Angeles Lakers. I thought Cleveland should have been his home for good. But LeBron was so caught up in trying to win more rings and stack the deck in his favor that he made the decision to leave and go to LA. And here we are again, once again, the LeBron James mini sweepstakes. This is the mini sweepstakes. This can't be real. This can't be real. Hold on. I got to verify this. Okay, it's not real. This is why you can't believe everything you see on X as you're doing a video. But he decided he wants to take his talents elsewhere. Now, where is he going to go? We don't know. I mean, there are there's three reported places of destination. One of them is Golden State, one of them is Cleveland, and one of them is Miami. Now, as a Miami Heat fan, I have said time and time again, I am not a LeBron James fan. And it would take a lot for me to stomach LeBron James back in Miami, even for 1 year or 2 years. He is a free agent. He is free to make his call to go where he wants. Supposedly, it's not about the money, even though he left LA because of the money. Like, it's not about the money, reportedly, but he left LA because of the money, because they didn't offer him enough money. This is reality. There's some comments or some posts about he didn't get like Kobe Bryant got a 2 year, $48 million deal at the end of his tenure in LA, which is, I don't know if that was a max deal at the time, but I'm sure it was a pretty substantial deal. But the max deals nowadays are huge, and they're not even remotely close to what a max deal was back then. And no one's going to give this man 2 years at $120 million. Now, accordingly, there's a post here that says, this is another joke ass post. I don't even know at this point because I don't know what's real or not. This is X, and they lie constantly. But the Los Angeles Lakers have put out a post and said, "Thank you, LeBron. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We greatly appreciate you. We thank you for your service. We appreciate your time." This is what they had to say. LeBron James is one of the greatest athletes in history. We will always be thankful for his 8 years with the Lakers, including the title he led us to in 2020 under the toughest imaginable circumstances and the countless records he broke in purple and gold. We wish him all the best in the future, both on the court and off. He will always be a cherished part of the Lakers family. And LeBron James responded, "No, thank you. Truly a honor." Now, we gotta work on that grammar, bro. Truly a honor to wear the purple and gold while trying to continue the greatness and legacies that came before me. Hope I made a few proud during my stint. You may have, and there are plenty that probably still hate your guts because you quit a lot. and you decide to take your talent somewhere else when it's not as good. I mean, I am sure the Lakers would have resigned him if he took a 2-year, $25 million deal or a 2-year, $30 million deal and played for a mid-level exception. But you're not going to keep building around a guy who is 41. And I don't care what he averaged last year. It doesn't matter. Numbers today are fluffed up in comparison. He averaged 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds. He plays not a lick of defense. He did have a nice little run at the end of the season when Luka Doncic got hurt and Austin Reeves got hurt. But he still did miss 22 games. He still did miss a fourth of his games. And while LeBron James is one of the greatest of all time, what would make sense? And how would it make sense? Would it make sense in the form of he wants to seemingly now jump on Steph Curry's coattails, which is just so awkward? I gotta say, the whole concept of LeBron James signing with the Golden State Warriors for a year or two. I mean, how long does this guy intend to play? He's 41 years old. Like at a certain point, you're kind of just dragging on your career because you want to build up numbers. Like you really want to stat pad this thing. This dude is not gonna win a championship. And I'll sit here and I'll tell you this: he's not gonna win a championship up in Golden State. He's not gonna win a championship in Cleveland. And even if he comes to Miami, for which I'm a Miami Heat fan, he is not going to win a championship here. I don't even know how much better he makes these teams. That's part of the issue. I don't know how much better he makes teams at this point in his career. He is a one-way player. He had to take a side seat to Luka and Reeves this past season. Will he take that same side seat to Steph? Will he take that same passenger seat to Steph and maybe even Jimmy Butler? Now, Jimmy Butler has a torn ACL. He says he's all good, ready to go. There's no indications that the Warriors are going to trade Jimmy Butler. Draymond Green's apparently opted out of a deal so he can restructure a deal because he needs to have his boyfriend in Golden State with him or something like that. Weird ass shit. LeBron James basically plays the same position that Draymond Green plays. Why the hell would you have both of those guys on the same team? Does LeBron James fit in Golden State? Yeah, without Draymond Green. He can play that role, be a passer, be a facilitator. He can absolutely play point guard. Because Steph really has never been a real point guard. We all know that. He's always been a combo hybrid too, and he's never been a real point guard. What Steph does to make players around him better is the spacing that he creates. It's never been his passing skills or his ability to get people open. He's good at it, but he's not great at it. So, yeah, he does fit. And does he fit in there with Jimmy Butler? Yeah, absolutely. He's also 41 years old. So it's just a matter of when does his body break again? How many games will he miss? How many games will Jimmy Butler miss? How many games will Steph Curry miss? Because none of them played a full season last year. None of them did. And then you look at Cleveland. Cleveland with Donovan Mitchell. This is the real weird one to me. Because it's the only one in which he could potentially walk in the door and say, I'm the man. Because I will never, ever be on the Donovan Mitchell train. Ever. Does he walk into Cleveland as the best player immediately? One would argue, yeah. And this is a team that has Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. How does LeBron fit in with this thing? Because he doesn't fit in. He would take over. And there's not a team in the league that with LeBron James, yes, right now, LeBron James, yes, right now, not 6 years ago, right now, there's not a team in the league with LeBron James as his number one option that is a championship level team. So Cleveland actually is probably the worst choice because I think Donovan Mitchell is the most fugazi supposed star in the league. Disappears in big moments, melts. And then you got James Harden, who is a walking cancerous tumor, that never goes away. And Donovan Mitchell didn't play a poor Eastern Conference Finals versus the Knicks, but he needed to be elite. He had 27.3 points in this series. He shot 47.5%, 38 from three. He needed to average 35 to 38 on 55 to 60% shooting. That's what he needed to average to have a chance to beat the Knicks, especially after they blew that first game when they were up by 22 points. So that's the one team that I think he could walk into and sit here and say, yeah, I'm the man. Give me the ball. Get the fuck out the way. This is my city. I'm from here. Now, LeBron James has also said publicly that he never wants to live in Cleveland again, which can't be really all that nice to hear if you're from Cleveland, that your hometown hero thinks that your city is dog shit, which it is. And now you look at Miami. Miami Heat need a point guard. LeBron James can fill that role because Davion Mitchell's a backup point guard at best. You would know exactly who the best player is. It's Giannis. And then you have this weird dynamic that has Bam and LeBron. I mean, the funny thing about it is you have three guys that handle the ball a lot that are on the same team. But LeBron does fit in as a point guard, and he could very well average 10 assists a game on this Miami Heat team because his job primarily, in my opinion, will be to facilitate, to pass the ball. Of course, he can still score. How many games, though, will he be healthy? Hell, how many games will Giannis be healthy for? If you ask me, the best situation is in Miami. He's played in Miami. He knows Miami. He knows the culture of Miami. He knows that they're going to try to win. And they already have made a move to bring in a top 5 player in the league in Giannis, maybe top 8, depending on who you ask at this point, because Giannis did miss a lot of games last year. But bare minimum top 5, bare minimum top 8 player. But if he's healthy, he's a top 5 guy in the league. And then you include Bam Adebayo, who, I'm not a fan of, but people seem to think he's really good, and I'll never agree. The Heat have re-signed Andrew Wiggins. So the question now becomes, how much money does LeBron James actually want? How much does he want? I have no idea. Does it require a sign-in trade to facilitate a deal? If it did, then you can assume that Andrew Wiggins would be part of that deal. Despite opting, I mean, he opted in to his extent. He opted in, and then he also signed an extension, which is supposed to stretch out the money. But I mean, you know what LeBron James could have done and should have done to make this easiest? He should have retired. He should have said last year was his final hurrah, and he should have walked out into the sunset. But instead, LeBron James, because he has a massive ego and has this, I don't want to say it's a ridiculous belief, but he does have incredible belief that he can win another ring. He has a belief in him, dude. I mean, the one thing you can say is, I mean, it's a crazy belief. I respect it, but I think it's crazy. Is that realistically, bro, you're not winning another ring, not in any one of these places. Not any one of these places. Because at the end of the day, your second or third best player can't be your feature attraction. And it pisses off the star of a team, because these guys have massive egos, to have a guy who's a third option offensively as the so-called face of the franchise. It's annoying. Should have retired. I mean, I will admit, as a Heat fan, and it disgusts me, but I would absolutely cheer for him again if he came back here. Still ain't buying a jersey, still not buying a t-shirt, still don't give a shit. But I would take him. We would be better. We would certainly be better adding him along with Giannis. I think with Giannis, we're pretty much the same team. I think adding him, and I think we're the same team because we gave up like half our squad. But adding him, I think that changes the dynamic. We have a real guy who can really facilitate, be a point guard. unlike Davion Mitchell, who can come off the bench and be the spot up shooter that he's supposed really is. Do the Heat somehow keep Norman Powell? If the Heat can keep Norman Powell, add a LeBron, keep Andrew Wiggins, have Giannis and Bam, that's a hell of a formidable starting lineup. Now, does it win a championship? I don't think so. I would love it, but I don't think so. And then at the same time, if it did win a championship, does LeBron James now puff up his chest and say, "I got ring number 5"? I mean, there's so many things to this story. We'll wait and see what happens. I am definitely curious to see where he lands because any which way, any which way, I still think it's a really bad look. You want to be the GOAT and you bounce around like a $2 whore from team to team to team to team to team. And this time, you're not bringing Bronny with you unless it's in some sign and trade deal. God, no. Please don't bring Bronny with you. Let Bronny be an adult in LA. They guaranteed his contract now. Let him be an adult. I mean, his career is going to be over in 2 years. He will never get re-signed. Nobody will want him. But hey, where do you think LeBron James ends up? Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Where would you like to see him go? That's all I got. This is Rudy's Rant, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.